Okay, let's dive right in. We're looking at a self-help phenomenon from the 1970s that made some truly incredible promises. And I mean, this wasn't just your run-of-the-mill positive thinking. No, this was something else entirely. It was a method that claimed it could teach you to tap into a hidden, almost psychic power that we all supposedly have.
I mean, just listen to that. That right there, that was the core promise from its founder, Jose Silva. It's a wild claim, basically saying that psychic ability isn't some rare mystical gift. It's a skill, something that anyone, and that means you, could be trained to do.
And get this wasn't some tiny fringe movement we're talking about. According to the book itself, by the time it hit the shelves, 500,000 people had already gone through the training. We're talking doctors, artists, students, big shot executives, people from every walk of life. So that's the big question, right? What was the Silva method exactly? Well, that's what we're going to do in this explainer. We're going to break it all down piece by piece straight from the source material. We'll look at the basic ideas, the techniques, and yeah, we'll get to those really extraordinary claims. All right, first up, the promise of power. And this wasn't some vague, abstract idea of power. No, the book kicks things off by listing these incredible, real-world results. Results that, honestly, sound almost too good to be true. It's framed as a practical tool for getting real success. And what's so wild is just how wide-ranging these claims were. It wasn't just about, finding inner peace. They claimed a marketing company used it to invent a ton of new products. Pro athletes were supposedly boosting their scores. Colleges were using it to help students study less but learn more. And, of course, you had celebrity endorsements to top it all off. Okay, so how on earth did it supposedly do all this? Well, the whole system, everything from simple relaxation all the way up to psychic diagnosis, it all rests on one single foundational skill: learning how to consciously get into a specific level of your mind. So the book basically splits our consciousness into two modes. You've got beta, which is, well, it's right now. It's you, wide awake, listening, thinking, dealing with the world. But then there's alpha. That's the deeper, quieter state. Think about that moment right before you fall asleep or when you're just daydreaming. The book says that place, alpha, is where the magic happens. It's the home of creativity, intuition, all the good stuff. And the way you get there, at least at first, is shockingly simple. You don't need years of silent meditation on a mountaintop. Nope. The method starts with this basic countdown exercise you do right when you wake up. It's designed to train your brain to slip into that alpha state whenever you want. All right, so once you've mastered getting to your alpha level, what then? Well, that's when the book hands you your toolkit. These are specific mental techniques designed to put that alpha state to work, to actually use it for things like improving your memory or solving problems. The first tool is something called the mental screen. And it's crucial to get this. This isn't just about sitting there with a blank mind. It's the opposite. The mental screen is like your own private imaginary movie theater. It's a workshop where you actively create images and play out scenarios to get what you want.
And the book is just packed with stories like this one. Someone loses their plane ticket. They go to their alpha level, see it on their mental screen, and boom, there it is, right where they imagined it. The whole idea is that your alpha mind knows things your regular, busy mind has forgotten or missed.
Now, what if you need that alpha focus, like right now, in the middle of a busy day? Well, there's a shortcut for that. It's called the 3 fingers technique. You basically program this physical gesture, touching your thumb to your first 2 fingers, to act as an instant trigger. The idea is you do this and you immediately drop back into that deep focus state. Okay, so you've got your mental screen, you've got your 3-finger trigger, now what? Now, the book shows you how to use these tools to tackle real-life problems. We're moving beyond just finding lost keys and into things like actively changing bad habits. Take dieting, for example. The method has this really specific 3-step visualization. First, you picture the unhealthy food you crave, but you slap a big red X over it on your mental screen. Then, poof, you replace that image with healthy food and a big, shiny gold checkmark. And the final step, the most important one, is to vividly imagine yourself already thin, feeling fantastic, really experiencing that success. And you see this pattern throughout the book. Right after explaining a technique, boom, there's a testimonial.
For this one, it's a woman who says this was the only thing that worked for her, that she lost 26 pounds and her friends were all telling her how great she looked. It's a very effective formula. Here's how to do it, and here's someone who says it worked.
All right, hold on, because this is where things take a pretty wild turn. We're moving out of the realm of self-improvement and squarely into what most of us would call the psychic or paranormal. But according to the book, this isn't some crazy leap. It's just the next logical step.
And this all goes back to Jose Silva's own story. It's described as this 20-year journey that started with an interest in psychology. But the big aha moment, the story goes, happened in 1953. He was working with his daughter, and she apparently started answering questions that he was only thinking. That was it. That moment supposedly sent him on a decade-long quest to create a repeatable system to teach anyone to do that.
Now, Silva had a real issue with the term ESP, or extrasensory perception. He said, it's not extra, it's a natural sense we just don't use. So he renamed it. He called it effective sensory projection. And that word projection is key. It's not about passively waiting for psychic messages to float into your head. It's about actively sending your consciousness out to a target to get information. This all builds to the absolute peak of the training, something the book calls case working. It's this incredibly detailed, structured process. You're taught to create a mental laboratory, a psychic workshop in your mind. You even create 2 imaginary counselors to give you advice. And from there, the goal is to psychically scan someone else's body, someone who could be miles away, and actually diagnose their physical illnesses. So, after hearing all of this, from improving your memory to, psychically diagnosing people, you have to ask, what proof does the book offer? How does it try to convince a skeptic?
Well, in the back of the book, there's an appendix with a psychiatric study. Apparently, 2 psychiatrists put 75 of their patients through the mind control course. And according to their report, about half of them, 36 to be exact, showed a significant improvement in how they perceived reality. Now, it's also worth noting that 22 either didn't change or actually got worse.
So when you boil it all down, the book isn't selling itself as magic or some kind of religion. It presents itself as a science. A trainable, repeatable system for unlocking a power inside your mind that it claims is just sitting there, waiting. It's basically an instruction manual for becoming superhuman.
And that really leaves us with the big, lingering question, doesn't it? Is the mind this untapped superpower, just waiting for us to learn the instructions? Or is the mind the ultimate illusionist, so powerful that it can convince us we have abilities that we don't actually possess? The book lays out a compelling case for one side, but what you believe in the end, well, that's up to you.